with their people by making big business marketing technology accessible and affordable for small business. Today, we're going to talk about branding. B is for branding. And so, this is going to be in the context of websites, right? Because as a new entrepreneur in particular, and even as a more mature entrepreneur, a small business owner, the first thing you believe you need, or you need, or somebody told you need it, is a website. And so, what I want to talk about today is just a little bit of food for thought on why it's so important to understand your target audience in the context of brand and websites, right? There's a couple different scenarios that we fall into, right, when we need a website. So one is you're a do-it-yourselfer. You're like, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna go to Wix, I'm gonna go GoDaddy, I'm gonna go to so-and-so. I'm pretty tech savvy. I'll create my own website. And you go off and this is me. And you go off and you have so much fun and you create a website and you put the images in and you just really are stoked that you come up with this, really cool website, right? The other option is you find somebody, you say, hey, you talk to your friends or somebody else is in business and you go, hey, I got this new business. I need a website. Just wonder if you can help me out. And so you meet with that person, a web developer, they give you an estimate and you go down the path of having someone build a website for you, right? So the first thing is that this is a very perilous path. And the reason it's a perilous path, I say that 5 times fast, is because your brand needs to flow through your website and all of your content. And all of your content needs to speak to your ideal customer who is a member of your target audience. So if you have not done the work up front, which most of us haven't, let's just be honest, to really understand who is your target audience, what problems do they have that your product or service can solve, and learn about that ideal customer, then when you go to create your website, whether you're doing it yourself in a website builder or you're having someone else do it for you, you're probably going to run into some disappointment. Now, you may not even know that you should be disappointed, right? If you're a do-it-yourselfer, I was like, oh, my website is so great. Here's the problem with your website if you're a do-it-yourselfer. It's probably all about you and your business, right? It's about you and your business and what you think your business does and how you think your business is great. And what's missing is it really needs to be about and directed to your target audience and specifically your ideal customer. So what happens is your website becomes a digital flyer. People come over there, they look and they go, oh, okay. And then they leave because another thing you probably are missing is a call to action. So from my perspective, when somebody goes to your website, they need to be directed to do something. That's called a call to action. So maybe you want them to join your email list. Maybe you want them to schedule an appointment. Maybe you want them to sign up to get some great free thing you're going to give them. So you can begin the process of getting to know them and building the know, like, and trust factor. Any of those things. But you have to have something there for them to take an action. Otherwise, you have no idea that they've been to your website. Now, there's platforms like, for example, shameless plug. My platform will tell you, that someone came, what they did. You can have intel to do that, but it's really nice if you can build your website and create your content so that it speaks to your ideal customer so that they'll want to reach out to you and learn more about what you do because it solves a problem for them. Okay? It solves a problem for them. The other reason it's important is for SEO purposes, search engine optimization. So if you do the work, I know it's a pain and you're going to have multiple iterations to actually get to a point where you really understand your target audience and your ideal customer. I get it, but it's so powerful because once you really kind of dial in on that ideal customer, now you can come up with the keywords that will be used that they'll be using in search engines to find you. So now that's another layer. So they went out, they took an action, they Googled you and they said, oh, okay, marketing automation. Let me check this person out. Boom, they go to your website and it speaks to them and says, hey, master the mundane. Hey, here's how to, get more customers. Now you're speaking to them, solving a problem they may have when they look for you. But if you don't do the work up front, it doesn't matter about the website. Honestly, I mean, it's a digital flyer, right? You save some printing costs, but at the end of the day, it's a digital flyer. People go, they look at it, maybe they toss it over, they never come back and find it again. I mean, it's not, your website has to work. So I have a tagline that says, I put your websites to work. Why? Because why bother having it if it's not working for you? Is the point. Okay. So, and I say that, and that's the same whether you do it yourself. It's no slight on you. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, then do it yourself. It's fun. Like if you're techie, that could be fun. But even if you have someone do it for you, a lot of times you'll see these wonderful websites, nice, big, smacking new video, all this kind of stuff. It's great. It's the same problem though. If you're speaking to it's like that corporate analogy when they say you climbed to the top, but your ladder was on the wrong building, right? It's great. It's whiz bang. You paid a couple grand for it, right? You thinking you definitely doing something. But if it's not speaking to your target audience and it's not showing them how you can solve their problem, it might as well be, something on a piece of toilet paper, to be honest, because they're going to come and they'll look, you might get a few people, but they're not going to take any action. So this is so, so important. So when you're talking about a website, do this work first. And honestly, it doesn't matter how thorough you are in the beginning. The point is that your mind is conditioned to be looking at developing that persona so that you understand more about them. It's like you're building a relationship with your ideal customer avatar. As a small business owner, I want to connect with small business owners. I know they're on LinkedIn and they're on Alignable. I know they've got problems with things like, marketing budget and marketing results and cash flow and all that kind of stuff. And so I can speak that language because I'm there. And the more I learn about that ideal customer, the better I'll be able to speak to them and have a conversation. It's kind of like, remember that book, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, something like that? Like you're speaking a completely different language. You've got to speak the language of your person. It doesn't matter if it's on a website or not. So I encourage you to do the work because that's what's going to help you build your brand. When someone knows that you're speaking to them and what they know about you is that you care, and what they know about you is that you can solve this problem, okay? Then you'll begin, then everything that you do, your website, any printed material, your Google page, your I don't know if you give away pens, who knows? I mean, online is not, believe it or not, online is not the only way to market your business, okay? So whatever it is, that work that you do up front to identify your ideal customer is going to flow through everything you do. It's like the single thread that goes through everything. So every touch point, you're building that relationship. They're thinking to themselves, hey, they really kind of do know what I'm going through. Maybe I'll give them a shot. Okay. But just to go out and say, hey, I'm new here and I do this is really not enough, right? You're going to be frustrated and you're probably going to spend a whole lot of money that you could have invested in something else. So that's what I wanted to share with you today as it relates to branding, the importance of your ideal customer avatar, the importance of the understanding that it doesn't matter whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or you hire someone to do your website for you. The single most important thing you need to do before you do either of those things is understand your ideal customer avatar, that persona. And even if it's not detailed, just having gone through the exercise to think it through, it's still a step in the right direction because it'll continue to evolve and build and grow as you build and grow. But you got to have that down first. So anyway, I hope that was helpful for you. If it was helpful, then definitely share the video. I love when people share my videos, and definitely make sure that if you have not done this already, that your homework is to go ahead and identify who can benefit the most from your product or service. And I'll talk to you next time on Jill's Gems. Bye for now. Bye-bye.